She didn't just file the violation, she announced it like a victory parade. Karen didn't knock. She taped the bright orange notice to my door and stepped back like an artist admiring her work. Pearl necklace, clipboard, that tight HOA president smile, the one that says, I decide who breathes peacefully here. Reason? Unauthorized structural alteration. The structure? A $40 flower planter. Neighbors watched from behind curtains. Karen made sure of that. She even cleared her throat dramatically before saying, loud enough for the street, this will go to court if necessary. Court, over flowers. I looked at the notice, then at her. Which section of the bylaws? I asked calmly. She blinked. Oh, she smiled. Don't worry, the board approved everything. Everything. That was the word that caught my attention. Because I attend board meetings, and I knew for a fact there had been no vote. If you love powerful stories, you don't want to miss this. But before we continue, tell us where you are watching from. It makes us happy to see how far our stories travel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Karen expected me to panic. Instead, I nodded politely and said 5 words that made her smile twitch. Perfect. Let's take it there. What she didn't know, I had already requested the HOA financial records 2 weeks earlier, and the numbers didn't just smell funny. They screamed. Confidence is loud before it collapses. 250 words. Karen didn't just double down, she escalated. Within 48 hours, she emailed the entire neighborhood claiming I was resisting community standards. She used words like non-compliant, aggressive, hostile presence. Over flowers, she even added a late fee. Before court, neighbors started whispering. Some believed her. Karen had mastered the tone of fake authority. Polished, performative, poisonous. Then she made her biggest mistake. At the next HOA meeting, she stood in front of everyone and said, the board voted unanimously. We will not tolerate rule breakers. Unanimously. I slowly raised my hand. Could we see the vote record? Her smile tightened. It's documented. Great, I replied, because I filed a formal records request last week. Silence. You could feel it shift. The treasurer, a quiet older man named David, blinked. What vote? Karen didn't look at him. The executive session, she snapped. There wasn't one, David said softly. That was the first crack. But Karen recovered fast. She laughed. Oh, please, he's confused. Everything is filed correctly. She dismissed the meeting early. 2 days later, court papers were served. She thought she was dragging me into a fine. She had no idea she was walking into discovery. And discovery doesn't care about pearl necklaces. Karen walked into court like it was an awards ceremony. Cream blazer, perfect hair, that same polished smile she used on the sidewalk. She didn't look nervous. She looked victorious. She even avoided eye contact with the other board members sitting behind her. Interesting. When the judge called the case, Karen's attorney stood confidently. Your Honor, this homeowner violated structural guidelines and refused compliance. The judge nodded. And the documented board vote approving enforcement? Karen slid a folder forward. There, she said smoothly. The judge opened it, flipped once, twice, then paused. These signatures, the judge said slowly, appear identical. Karen blinked. They are electronic approvals. The judge looked at the treasurer. Did you authorize this vote? David swallowed. No, Your Honor. The room shifted. Another board member raised her hand. I didn't either. Karen's smile cracked. The judge leaned back. So this enforcement action was filed without an official vote and with duplicated signatures? Karen's attorney started sweating. I didn't say a word. Then the judge asked the question that ended her reign. Where did the legal filing fee come from? Karen answered too fast. Operational funds. The treasurer's face went pale. Operational funds are short $30,000. Silence. Phones lifted in the gallery. The judge closed the file. This case is dismissed. Then added, calmly, and I am referring this HOA to financial review. Karen didn't look powerful anymore. She looked small. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Karen left the courtroom thinking she could recover her composure outside. But the moment she stepped into the hallway, whispers followed her like a storm. The HOA board members avoided her gaze. Phones clicked. Cameras recorded. Even the neighbors who had doubted me now smiled discreetly from the gallery. The treasurer, David, approached the judge with additional paperwork, evidence of repeated forged signatures, suspicious fund transfers, and falsified meeting minutes. Each document landed like a hammer on Karen's reputation. The gallery gasped with every revelation. Karen's confident smirk crumbled. Her pearls shook as she tried to speak, but words failed her. The judge's voice was calm, deliberate, and deadly. This HOA president is under investigation for repeated financial misconduct, forgery, and abuse of authority. The case against the homeowner is dismissed in full. She went from ruler of the street to powerless in a heartbeat. Neighbors who once cowered under her authority now laughed quietly among themselves, their phones recording every defeated expression. But it wasn't just about justice. Sweet revenge came in the little, beautiful moments. The flowers I had planted, now part of a community garden in front of the clubhouse, a symbolic flourish of calm intelligence triumphing over arrogance. The mailbox, decorated by neighbors in subtle, ironic ways that celebrated the absurdity of her attempt at control. Karen resigned the next week. Every HOA board email, every neighborhood chat, every social media post became a reminder of her downfall. Her aura of invincibility dissolved. Her laughter, once toxic, now replaced by silence. Justice had been served. Beauty had won. And the street, it finally breathed free. Please like, comment, and subscribe.